Hey, what's up guys? Guardian here, coming guys with a discussion video today going over my hopes for Vanguard in 2025. I kind of just want to give you a little yap session, but I promise not to make it too long, hopefully. You never know with me in Vanguard sometimes. Sometimes I can talk about it for ages, but I'll try to keep it short and concise. But yeah, I've got a couple of things written down here that I'd like to see in next year. And yeah, let's get stuck right into it. So the first thing, and it's probably going to be in the thumbnail, is Blast of the Vanguard. So this is a promo for MLB that came out over half a year ago. Still haven't seen it in English yet, and I don't know when we're going to see it. But yeah, it would be nice to receive my support card at some point, Bushy Road. Just saying. And please, make it somewhat easy to get, at least. So yeah, I mean, you can all understand. I have a pet deck. I want to improve the deck. Can't do so because the support card is not in English yet. Boo hoo, you know what I mean? So yeah, please give me the card, please. I'd like to upgrade my deck. Um, but alongside this, I'd also like to see the possibility of perhaps seeing Platina Ezel in 2025. That would also be pretty cool. Mainly because in set 6, we're getting the Blood and also Glory Maelstrom, the cross rides of those respected units. So for Blonde Ezel, it would be nice for an upgrade to see Platinum Ezel, that cross ride to come out. Because also, Blonde Ezel could do with the upgrade, because the deck does not feel anywhere near the power levels of decks these days. It feels really far behind. So yeah, that deck does need to see a bit of an upgrade, and also maybe some additional units as well, alongside the fact that both Maelstrom and Vermilion got those 2 new grade 2s, so probably they'll make something across those lines for Ezel as well to maybe use, so that would be nice. The only idea that I can think of is that they'll probably keep the same notion that you'll need the original Blonde Ezel in the soul to gain some sort of a skill or an additional skill for Platina. But outside of that, don't really know where they could go with it in terms of the design. So I'd like to hear your guys' suggestions in the comments below to what you think. The funnest version of Platinum Ezel was the V Series one for me, where it's like when I say a version, but there was only 2 of them. What am I saying? You know what I mean? Anyway, but yeah, the V Series one was pretty cool because basically it turned it so that when you do your drive checks, when you perform them, you actually look at the top 2 cards of your deck, and then you choose which one you want to call to the rear, and then you choose which one you want to put to the trigger zone to drive check as your trigger, basically. So that was rather neat. So if they wanted to do something like that, I'm all for it, because that was really, really fun gameplay back then. But yeah, so moving on from, those sort of encounter decks, in terms of a modern deck that I'd like to see get a facelift, and this is something that I haven't, talked much at all about, and I haven't even profiled him at all. My friends will probably know what I'm going to talk about here. It's Granfia. I'd like to see a new Granfia because I have had this deck for a long time, at least over a year and a half, and I haven't profiled it yet. For good reason. I've just felt like the deck is a bit lackluster at times. Initially, it felt okay because Granfia shares a lot of support with Leonon, with like Luster Impact Dragon, Rosarian Fairy, that sort of stuff. So it definitely does have legs to stand on, but in terms of its longevity, it's a little bit rough around the edges. So I'd like to maybe see a new form to Granfia, or because I did see recently that they were making a new Almagester, the grade 3 from the... Actually, I think it was the same set Granfia came in. So, hey, that could be a good sign, Maybe they're looking back at these older sets and thinking, hey, let's make a new form for you. But it also could be the fact that maybe the character that uses it is in the new Vanguard season. Not too sure there, but anyway. But yeah, I'd like to see a new form for Granfia, because I think it's just really cool. He's like a British sort of wolf character, and he's got like this garden of fruit and veg that he's attacking people with. Like you've got all this fruit and veg, and it's like you're just calling them as rear guards and attacking people. It's just, I don't know, the concept and the theme is just funny to me, So what can I say? But yeah, moving on from like my personal ones in terms of cards I'd like to see next year, I would also like to see, just in general for the game, better product design. And when I say this, I mean new product that makes it easier for new players to get in. Because I've noticed this more so recently because of two main factors. One, cards are expensive, because I've recently been trying to branch myself into the other nations recently, trying to find a deck in each of them that I could maybe pick up and play and enjoy. Well, I've managed to find a couple of decks, but my god, some of them I just had to put off completely because some of the cards that were being used in these decks, again, they were just generics, staples that had a price tag to them. And here I'm thinking, Keta Sanctuary is the only one with these problems. Oh no, we're not. All the other nations have the same problem. There are generics and staples that these nations have that are just high price demands. There were two of them in particular. I think one of them was Dark States and the other one was in Brantgate. It was like a grade 2 and a grade 1. Can't remember the names. I'll put them on the screen for you. But when I checked them, they were kind of expensive. And I thought, okay, gonna have to really think about this now. Because, again, most of my funding goes to Keta Sanctuary. And then on the, I suppose the second deck I mostly play is like Dragon Empire, mainly. With like Stoichair maybe next to that. But yeah, Brantgate and Dark States I just don't really play at all. And when I was looking into those nations for cards, I just noticed these expensive cards and I was like, okay, gonna have to think about this. So yeah, and then the other culprit to this was Festival Collection. As great as the cards are in that set, I still utterly hate how this set was distributed. The cards in this set are so good and so powerful, and the distribution of the product in terms of like the way the set is like designed to where you only get 10 packs in a box and you only get 3 cards a pack. 2 of them are triggers, so you're basically getting 1 card per pack pretty much. The trigger's like a whatever at that point, you know, it's just additions. But yeah, you're getting 10 cards a box, and some of them, I think only 3, is it 3 of them or 4 of them are like triple res, maybe? I can't exactly remember. But yeah, and there's so many different cards you can get that the scarcity of these cards is immense. And point proven is that after a good amount of time has passed, where the set is not like really in print anymore, you see cards like Saphira and also Valtrosa, 2 really good cards, both Keta Sanctuary by the way. Hiss. These cards have like tripled in price. It's ridiculous, and it's like, my god, if I was a new player trying to get into the game and I'm like, oh, let me make, you know, this deck. Oh, there's like this dual nation unit it uses. Let me check how much those are. Oh my god, how much are they? Like, it's crazy. Like, I don't know. Again, Festival Collection in terms of the cards that it brought to the game, I think are fantastic. I think they're great additions to the game. I just hate how they were brought in. Like, these cards should have been put in a main set. Like, there's no reason they can't make Festival Collection in the same structure of a main set. Like, 16 booster packs in the box, normal pull ratios, just, you know what I mean? Like, let's just not half-ass the product and actually just make these cards accessible to a degree, you know? Even if they were like, you know, 15 to 20 quid, that's still reasonable for like a triple rare in like a normal pull ratio for our main set. So like, let's do it for these side sets. Like, they're just horrible. I don't know, man. I could go on for about Festival. Like, Festival Collection really frustrated me last year. And yeah, it was just annoying. What can I say? But yeah. The point being though, reprints need to happen more so, because there are just tons of cards across all the nations that are just really expensive. But then we also just need to make new product that helps new players get in, because I feel like we're just entering this like barrier now where there's such a huge price barrier in front of people that it kind of puts them off. You know what I mean? I don't know if any of you have had that recently with like friends and that, where they look at stuff and they go, wow, that's a lot. Like, okay, I can make like a budget version maybe, but if I really want this deck to perform well, I'm going to have to buy this stuff. And I mean, we all look at Ketapile as like the main example of like expensive staples, but yeah, all the nations have stuff that are just expensive and it's hard to get. The stock just isn't there. And when it is there, it's expensive. So it's like it's a lose-lose situation. But anyway, we've just gone over the 10-minute mark, so I'm gonna stop here before I go any longer. So yeah, those are like my initial thoughts that I've been having recently. But yeah, I'd like to see Blast Blade the Vanguard, Platina Ezel, a new form for Granfia, and just better printing policies next year, hopefully. It's a big ask, I know, because I know Bushra struggles with this idea, but yeah, just better printing policies and just better products to help bring new players in. Because otherwise, it's just the people that stick around mainly that are going to be playing, right? And we really just need to get more and more people in if we want to keep this format everlasting and prevent another reboot, shall we say. Okay? So that's all I'll say. Oh yeah, I also noticed earlier this morning we've got that new quick shield mechanic, the persona ticket shield, whatever it is. Cool. All right, more defensive value. Good to see it. Thought I'd slip that in at the end, very quick. I did notice that. Don't really have many opinions about it really. It's just yeah, it's just more shield in it. Good stuff. That's all I can really say. But yeah, we'll see where they go with it. Yeah, it's another thing to the game, so it's it's fine. It's fine. Anyway, that's it for me. Hope you guys have a great new year and a great rest of your year if you're watching this a bit later. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in 2025. This is Guardian signing out.